Hey everybody. It's definitely been a while since I have posted any content to Q Computer channel. Of course, if you've been wondering, yes, I'm still here. I'm still functioning. I've just been real busy doing other things this summer. For one thing, during the summertime, I like to do videos of thunderstorms and things like that. I have 2 cameras that I use to film thunderstorms and time lapse and all that good stuff. That involves a lot of sitting down at the machine and going through all the video footage and all that good stuff. It gets quite boring after a while. But I've been busy doing other things such as splitting, stacking firewood, and also installing this thing, this wood burning stove, in the process of getting it installed for the upcoming winter. And of course you can see the place is just an absolute mess because I've been working on this thing. But we got an Asus All-in-one computer to look at tonight. Client says that it's overheating. They think the fan is not working. So let's go into the tech room and have a look and see what's going on with it. Okay, so here's the machine in question. It's an Asus All-in-one computer from, I believe, 2009 or 2010, sometime back when. It shipped with Windows 7, so obviously it's during that time period. Has a Core i3 processor and of course Windows 7. Comes with this little nifty keyboard. We got a mouse somewhere. Don't think it's the one that actually came with it, but I got this mouse over here I can use, this plug-in USB mouse. Going to spin this thing around, and you know, guys, I'm not a real fan of all-in-ones. I'm sure you probably already know that, but one from a good brand like this, you know, Asus, this is actually nowhere near as bad as some that I've seen from like HP and companies like that. HP, Dell, you name it. This thing, I already took off the Meek Squad sticker because I had the client's name on it. But this started out as a shelf display, so apparently it was a display inside the store, and then it got sold off probably at a much cheaper price. Now this is an i3 machine, so it's not necessarily low-end budgeting, but it's sort of in the middle, I guess. Let's have a look at this thing. Already liking this a lot better than many of the HP machines I've dealt with. It has, as far as interfaces go, we have 3 USBs, Ethernet, not sure if that's gigabit or 10100. We have an HDMI input, so you can use the built-in display as, let's say, a TV for an external device. Have an HDMI output and a VGA input, so you can use this as a monitor. So you actually have, and so it looks like you can actually run multi-display with this. You can have dual monitors, which is, I think, very nice. Pretty much every HP machine I've looked at, and I haven't seen all that many, but the ones that I have seen do not actually offer any sort of video in or video out capabilities. Now, some I've seen do in fact have TV tuners in them, but they don't have. This will be my first one to see an HDMI in and a VGA in, which I think is pretty neat. I think some of these all-in-ones, as far as how they work, some of the monitors in these all-in-ones are essentially just your regular monitor that, of course, can support multiple inputs. Anyways, let's go ahead and plug this thing in and let's see if we can figure out what's going on with it. See if we hear a fan come on, you know, all that good stuff. So I'm going to grab the power supply that goes with this thing. Which is made by Delta Electronics. Pretty decent brand. I'm not sure if this is a touch screen model. I don't think it is. Well, what's interesting is, say if the motherboard fails in this thing, perhaps you could use the display as, of course, a monitor. That's one big gripe I've had about all the ones is display and machine are tied together. And if your motherboard failed, you essentially was without a machine. At least in this scenario, you wouldn't have to buy a new monitor. But I mean, that's just sort of my quick opinion. I still prefer to have the PC and the monitor separate. Put our power up there. And of course, if you notice sudden changes in light, let me show you something here while this is going on. I bought these LED light bulbs at the Home Depot back in, November of last year. Here it is, August. And you see, we have one of them that is really screwed up. When I turn the light on, this one here starts out real dim, like it was, and it flicks on to high. It's like it has two brightnesses, high and low, and it goes between high and low, high and low, high and low. Eventually it'll stay on high, like it warms up or something. Kind of annoying. Kind of laugh at the fact that the box said 20-year life expectancy on the bulbs, which that's kind of funny. Not even a year in, one's already acting up. Alright, let's see what this thing's going to do. Now, of course, you may hear a fan running. That's actually on my power supply that supplies power to my lights. Now, I can actually unplug that, but of course, be a lot darker for a moment. And I'll close the doors that way in case you're hearing the fans off the Mid-Tower Deluxe. Let's see if we hear any fan noise on this. Okay, we definitely have a fan. The fan definitely does work. The keyboard, I think the battery is dead. Yeah, I think the battery's dead in this guy. Because it is not working right now anyway. But I can just grab another keyboard. If I can figure out what I've done with it. Oh, there it is. So it's going to boot into Windows 7. So we're going to use this opportunity to plug up our keyboard and mouse. That's actually the hard drive we're hearing now. Now, the fan did work when first powered on the machine. I'm going to plug this here back in. Every time I gotta spin this thing around just to find the USB port. That light is still lighting up. And of course they have a password on there they never told me about. So we're going to clear it. Yeah, I had to stop the camera for a brief moment. This does in fact have touch, as you can see. So it is a touchscreen model, which I think is relatively nice for its time, considering Windows 8 wasn't even out yet. Yeah, touch hardware is about the only decent thing you could put Windows 8 on. Because it was so freaking touch oriented. This would definitely be a good candidate for Windows 10. But it will be getting Windows 10 eventually. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll go and run through the process of resetting a password here on footage. Just in case this thing decides to act up any, which I don't feel any air come out the top of it. Perhaps the cooling fans are just clogged with dust. Now usually when the machine starts to really heat up, the fan will become noticeably louder, but the client says don't think the fan's working, but it worked when I first powered on the machine. And why the heck is my mouse not being detected yet? Probably a Windows 7 installed that is just in dire need of a cleanup, as our hard drive activity LED is just wide open. Perhaps that's what our problem is. So I guess we'll use the touchscreen to restart this bad boy. And holy cow, isn't it slow? Interesting, they have clear type disabled. So doesn't that text look very Windows XP-ish to you? Looks like Windows XP. Of course, unless you had the clear type enabled. Yeah, look at that. How blocky that text is. What is this? 2001? Alright. As you hear, the fan works. Make sure I pop the right freaking CD in there. Like, why are we getting Windows setup prompts? Okay, it is the hearing CD. The fan is in fact working. I feel a little bit of air coming out. CPU temperature is a little warm. 51 degrees Celsius. Our DVD drive don't sound that great either. Try a little something here. Let me actually blow through the vent opposite direction of the way the air moves. Oh, yeah. There's dust everywhere in here now. Yeah, perhaps that's what the problem is. Oh my gosh, I feel a difference already. The fan's now low and it's actually, and our CPU temperature is in fact dropping. I don't know. Do you see that or not? Crap. We're at 52C now. Let me do another one. 51C. I think I've dislodged a good bit of the air that was, I mean, not the air, but the dust that was in there. Now, depending on how this thing is set up, this may be an appropriate idle temperature. You actually get better results when you're in Windows and you have a utility like HW Monitor up and running, but can you see the dust? Yeah, look at that. That's what I gotta breathe now. The lights are picking it up real good. The wonderful life of a computer technician. Lots of wonderful dust in here now. Now it's sitting at 50. It's actually going down just a little bit. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and configure the boot options. Of course, what you had the CD drive as number 2. Which, by the way, guys, I don't know if you've noticed it or not. By the way this thing operates when you go through a reset. You see how it shows, or it may not do it. You don't have time this time, but it would actually show no signal input or no signal. So this all-in-one here is in fact it is in fact a monitor. I mean, the way it works is it's just like having a monitor hooked to your computer. That CD drive ain't sounding too good. Why are we getting this? Oh, jeez. Yeah, so it's booting back into Windows. And I have no idea what the... Oh. It's going into factory reset. We don't want to do that. Get me out of here. So when your internal optical drive fails to work, you dig out the external, which my external is just an ID USB adapter and another 5 1/4 inch drive. This thing is not showing any signs of overheating, at least not now. So, what's going to be happening with this machine is it's going to get repurposed for the client's friend. But the client and their friend are both friends of mine, so I know them pretty well. See if this thing detects the USB optical drive. Okay, now we finally got a working optical drive. Had to switch out for a different one. Let's go ahead and do the password reset. Now, as far as cooling goes, I think we done figured out the problem. Now, so before I continue on with this whole thing, let me just kind of show you. This is actually kind of common with all ones. A lot of them exhaust air out the top. All-in-ones are very similar to laptops by design as far as cooling goes, and other parts of the machine. They commonly use SODIMM memory, same as laptops. They commonly use laptop optical drives, and they commonly use laptop-style CPU coolers. Now, these machines do tend to use desktop processors and desktop hard drives, but this one here has a cooling vent on the top, and the fins in there are essentially the same as a laptop. Over time, dust can and will accumulate inside. And what happens is when that dust accumulates, the machine can no longer run cool. It'll start to overheat. So, if you have an all-in-one that's cutting off or just showing general signs of overheating, all you need is those can dusters from, let's say, Walmart, Staples, or wherever that they commonly sell in the electronics department. You just use them to blow the dust out of the cooling vents, or you can do it the way I did it. just blowing through it, and a lot of times that'd be enough to dislodge the dust. So I think we done figure out what was causing the overheating problem. Now the built-in DVD drive, it may just need a cleaning, or it may need replacement. I might do a separate video on that, but anyways, we're going to continue on with this video just to see how this machine runs. Now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and reset the password on this because we're going to eventually be wiping this install. It'll allow me to boot in and access utilities and back up the client's files. So we're going to go ahead and reset this password. And we'll select number 2. And of course, I'm sure you're not getting quite all this on video, but this is how you can reset the Windows login password for a local account, not a Microsoft account, but a local account on a MBR system. Choose one, which is already highlighted by default. Then disconnect our redneck external optical drive, and we can now boot into Windows. Okay, so I was able to clear the login password and get into Windows. I actually booted into safe mode. Apparently, for some reason, when I launch HW Monitor on this thing, the only temperature it reports back is the hard drive temperature, and that's it. No CPU temperature, no motherboard temperature, none of that. It's just the hard drive. From the way this thing's running, I hear the fan cycling on and off a little bit. There's good airflow through the exhaust on top. Safe to say that what was causing this thing to run hot was just simply the cooling fans on top were just clogged up with dust. Now, I don't mean to offend anybody who works for Best Buy. Trust me, I used to work for Staples EasyTech. I know the feeling. I don't know if they actually dusted out the machine when they had it. I mean, it looks like they've had this thing multiple times. I did witness 2 Best Buy stickers on the back. And there's actually a Geek Squad customer label, which I peeled off the back. So that way I wouldn't show the client's name while peeking behind the machine. But, yeah, it's just, I think that's all the issue was. Now, as I mentioned, as far as the built-in DVD drive goes, yeah, we're definitely going to have to figure out what's going on there, but I will save that for a different video if I do need to replace it. I'm going to run my laser lens cleaner through it and just see if that makes a difference, but if it doesn't, I will definitely look into replacing it. Anyways, I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but here you go. It's a random video of me troubleshooting this Asus All-in-one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, I sure hope you guys enjoyed this video from Q Computer Channel. Remember to like the video, subscribe to Q Computer Channel for more updates, and remember to tick the bell so that we actually get notified of these updates. Did you know that I am also on a second channel that's CubeComp MTDX? Over there you'll find videos of bicycling, weather, elevators, and all sorts of other neat and interesting stuff. Feel free to subscribe to that channel as well. And again, I thank you for your support, and thanks for watching this video.